Hello guys, I'm not sure if I in some of previous videos mentioned one of the great soothing techniques that you can do whenever you want, wherever you are. It's called butterfly hug, and it's like this, literally like you have big butterfly that's hugging you. As long as you're seeking soothing outside of yourself, you're not there yet, so to speak, because all the challenges that people face come from mostly from thinking that something or someone from the outer world will be able to give them what they need. It's never the case, and it's mostly the reason why we have drug abuse, alcohol abuse, why we have weed, why we have medication prescriptions more than ever, why we have pornography, why we have all kinds of things that people do in order to escape. Well, you can't escape yourself, and the more you try, the bigger the void. So first thing to do is to have courage to face the void, no matter how painful it is, and to forgive. Always and first, give forgiveness to those who caused the most trouble and challenges in your life, because when some time pass, you will see that those were your greatest teachers. So forgiveness is paid off debt, emotional debt, not for the sake of other person, but for the sake of your soul and for the sake of your sanity. Facing our own void is the best thing we can do, because then you come from a place of awareness and compassion and understanding. Not having compassion for yourself will always make of you a person who is incapable to have compassion for others, because how could you? How can someone be compassionate for others if they can't have compassion for themselves? Everything comes from within. So the world is as you are. It always reflects your inner world. So be gentle to yourself even when you are angry. Anger is not something to run away from. Embrace it by knowing that the anger is a memory of the past pain you lived through, like fear is the you anticipating the future pain. So anger is memory of the past pain, fear is anticipation of the future pain. Always have compassion for yourself, because even the anger I had and still have from time to time anger issues, because anger is form of defense. So it comes from wound. It's like when you have a dog who has been bitten too many times, he will bark on every hand that comes close to him. That doesn't mean that dog is bad. That just means that he has no trust in hand that comes through. So comparing to this, if you're angry, that doesn't mean, and if I'm angry from time to time and I awaken this emotion, I never identify with the anger. I just become aware how I feel at the moment, and I do whatever I can to let it go. The best is to feel through. I've noticed that whenever I suppress and run away from anger, it comes to me like a boomerang multiplied. So I feel the emotions. I'm just a human, but I'm aware of what's going on. And that's the reason why I can let it go faster. So feeling the anger doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That just means that you remember and have the memory of all the pains that you went through. And whenever you feel fear, that just means that you are scared in advance from the pain of the future. Have patience with yourself. Everything comes from what we have embodied early on in our lives. It's like one of the most challenging things also is grieving the mother you wanted while dealing with the mother you have. So it can be father, it can be brother, friend, husband, child. It's like we have some form of contract to deal with most issues and challenges with those that are most close to us. I realized it's because I went through many patterns where I, let's say, promised to myself that I will never be like this or that person, but later on I caught myself to be in many situations even worse than those persons and people. And that caused form of being in some icky feeling about myself. Nothing is random. We choose those who are the most close to us. It's like in that avoidant and anxious combination in relationships. So if I'm avoidant, I will always attract someone who is anxious, and that will even more multiply my avoidance trait. So I think that even one study was done where, you know, when something happens, like those things where people do awful things in some malls or on street, or how is it that from thousands of people who are walking in some street, the thief will come to that specific person or people, group of people. The study have been done that intuitively the people who do those crimes, all kinds of crimes, are drawn to those who are most scared. So imagine that. That's why the importance of digging through your inner world is so huge. It will set you free from many problems that are always caused by our inner world. And the best of all is it will set you free from yourself, from those chains of habits. As the saying goes, the chains of habits are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. So it's the same way with the thinking patterns. And that's why this subconscious reprogramming and rewiring your brain is so important, because you can't change things that you are not aware of. How Einstein used to say, you can solve the problem from the same level of awareness or from the same frequency that you created it. Or doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same results is the shortest definition for madness. Never compare yourself to journeys of others. You might be at the beginning, they are maybe on the half of their journey, or they are even close to reach the goal. Never compare yourself, never. Your willingness to put in the effort and to do the work is awesome job, no matter what it is. So be your greatest cheerleader. Um, Also, never forget about the importance of authenticity, what people are doing. And I'm guilty of it also. I used to be a woman who many times abandoned herself because of the fear of being abandoned by the other person. And the sad part of this is, as long as you are avoiding and abandoning yourself, you will constantly attract people who will also be people who are emotionally unavailable, or who are not making you feel safe, seen, who are simply not your match. And the more you do, the more you feel low and question and wonder what's wrong with me. Is it something? No. In fact, yes, the only thing that's wrong with you is that you gave yourself the luxury of abandoning yourself. Never do that. And that's the authenticity. Authenticity is, as I mentioned in previous videos, your ability to disappoint everyone else just in order to don't disappoint yourself. And great thing about this is that the reward for not longer being someone who abandons themselves is that you will attract also people who will never abandon you. It's everything is mental. Whole life is mental. Whole life is like video game. Many people, even the books I read 10, 20 years ago, say that we live in a simulation. Back then, not many supported this point of view, but as the consciousness is rising and more people are expanding their awareness, more and more people are becoming aware that yes, we literally live in a simulation, and what you give, you receive. So the moment you become authentic with protecting your energy, with being unapologetically you, with no longer being someone who will, no matter the cost, abandon themselves, you will also begin to see how your outer world is changing, because as the saying goes, the moment you change the way you look at yourself and how you think about what you see also is changed. So how it's the shorter version is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So let's say, for example, if I as I used to earlier see myself as a broken woman, as a woman who had all kinds of traumas and flawed and blah 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 blah, basically coming from a place of primal state of being, nothing was changing, and I was getting more and more of that to reinforce my belief. That's, we mentioned it many times, cybernetic loop. So you have belief, that belief creates thought patterns, how you think creates and influence the actions you will take. the actions you take create the results, and those results reinforce the belief from the beginning. So you're stuck like that mouse who is running in their wheel, not aware that the only thing it should do is step out of the wheel. So in the same way, you should step out of your programs, you should step out of your old stories, you should step out of how you used to see yourself, and to tell a different story, to reinforce, no matter how I told you many times, and all great gurus and teachers say that it's challenging, especially if you lived for decades, as I used to, in all kinds of limiting beliefs and mental blockages, to break through. But once you break through, it's the most beautiful thing and feeling that you could ever experience. And it will pull you more and more to explore, to every day I started with small manifestations, because every great teacher also says that you shouldn't, it's okay to aim high, and we all love to aim high, but to do that with steps, not huge change now. Do it with the small manifestations, and you will see how beautiful feeling is when you start to witness one by one manifesting in your life. So protect your energy at all costs. Be gentle to yourself. Give yourself butterfly hugs. Always be there for yourself. Give yourself all those things that you searched in the outside world. Always be aware that you're timeless, spiritual being, and that you are infinite in compassion, kindness, unconditional love, whatever it is, to give it to yourself and later on to share it with others. Avoid naysayers. Some fly is present in the moment. Hopefully she will find her way out. That reminded me of a grasshopper last night. I mean, I'm a person who long time ago stopped searching the proofs and evidences for science, so to say, for my journey, and as a confirmation that I'm on the right path, because I am now 100% sure that literally everything that I do is divinely guided, and every step is also guided. But it was funny, I was listening I was doing some of my subconscious reprogramming, and out of nowhere, literally huge grasshopper, like this big, landed on my pillow, and me and dude are watching each other in the eye. So I don't know what, but I wanted to read what grasshopper, close encounter with grasshopper means. It's positive change, because they are quick to jump and to make, so to speak, quantum leaps. Guys, that's all for now, because I'm getting annoyed by this fly, and I also have some things to do. But nevertheless, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my crew. I love you all. I read your comments, and I'm so flattered and so happy and so grateful whenever I read that I made you either feel better or awaken kind of hope that it's possible for you to release everything that you want to release, because of course it is. What you need is faith and a little effort and will and the intention to become the change that you want to see in others and in the world. And everything else you should leave to the universe, to the infinite intelligence, to the big guy in the sky, as I like to say. Fly heard me and she found her way out. Bye bye, Fly. I remember once when I watched one of awesome women here who is also transformational coach, and she said that she used to kill them, flies, and it was form of her fun activities. But after she had a spiritual awakening, she blesses flies and she fly high, little soul. And that was so funny for me, because it's interesting how we change and expand over the years. Unfortunately, many people become grumpy. I would also become grumpy, and you know, those people who are always pissed off. I think that if I wasn't blessed to go through the spiritual awakening, I would probably be the worst. People who have awkward inner world also grow older ugly. They become ugly. They become ugly because all that ugliness from the inside becomes part of their appearance. But when you do the work and you are soft and kind inside and do whatever you can to clean the basement, as I like to call the subconscious and inner world, you literally grow old gracefully. I remember I always wondered, let's say, why some people like Jane Fonda or what's the name of that beautiful woman? I think that she has 90 plus. Carmen de Lorfiz, beautiful, beautiful woman who also in 90 and plus years do the shows. She's a model, great, great looking woman. Who else? There are many beautiful women who are in their 80s or 90s, and I literally was in awe. Why this woman looks so literally like an angel? She's grace, embodiment of grace. And why some others who are twice younger, literally it's like the darkness or some evil or something shaped their face and appearance and everything. Well, that's it. That's that mirror definition. Consciousness and everything, whole life is consciousness expressed in the outer world. So people do whatever, especially in these days, and look like clowns with those surgeries and plastic implants and whatever it is nowadays in, not realizing that reverse aging and aging gracefully and literally, instead of growing older, even though I have nothing against aging, it's natural process and it's privilege to age, because that means that you didn't drop dead in early young years, but you can do it gracefully and even reverse aging and have youthful and pleasant appearance, no matter what your biological age is, because you have biological age, you have psychological age, you have um, psychological, biological, and your age. How old are you? So you can have, let's say, 50 years, but your biological and psychological age can be 30 years. How I read many books about this topic. Well, by always being curious, by feeling joy and joyful no matter your circumstances, because joy is your natural state. And the more joyful you are, the more joy you will attract. By always being lifelong learner, by wanting to always be person who expands, by training yourself to be someone who, if you previously saw obstacles, you are now person who see always and everywhere opportunities. So chronological age is the word I seeked. Just let go and it pops up. So chronological, biological, and psychological age don't have to be in alignment. And how they are not in alignment, by you being nurturing to yourself, as well as you pay attention what you put in your mouth, to have even greater attention and awareness of what you're putting in your mind, to cut off all the naysayers, to avoid those who have some problems with your light and spreading your light and being light, to feel intuitively when is time to remove yourself, to cut off the cords, because some people in our lives are there for reason, some for season, and some forever. So most of the issues in people's lives are they're holding on to people, wanting them to be forever, if they're only part of their life for reason or for season. So it's important for you to always know who is in which category. So have patience with yourself. All those things will come to you as a literal awakening, and like, oh, that's it. I knew it, and it's the best feeling. The best feeling and the best thing is also that you can never do it wrong, because you can never do it done. This whole journey is one big school, and we are always evolving and we are learning through experiences. And that's why I said those who gave you the most challenging situations are your greatest teachers. Bless their soul. How they say it, I honor your journey, but I will never allow you again to disturb my own. That's the great perspective. I honor your journey, but I will not allow you to disturb my own. This definition and this rule should be applied even in relationship with your loved ones and so on and so forth. Because unfortunately, many times those who are very close to us think that just because they are our bloodline, they can do with ourselves whatever they want. No. I honor your journey, but I will not allow you to disturb my own. So I hope this was helpful. I read all your comments. Thank you so much for all the kind words. It means the world for me, and a lot for me, to know that I'm a rays of light for anyone who manifested me here. So I appreciate you and I love you a lot, and talk to you soon.